Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
All right, friends, welcome to Choco Millionaire. All right, so there is a news article or publication that I'd like to talk about today, and let's get into it. So the news came out yesterday that Justin Trudeau, Canada's Prime Minister, will be stepping down or resigning as both the Prime Minister of Canada and also the leader of his party, the Liberal Party in Canada, which has been in power since 2015. And this has created quite an uncertain moment here in Canada. What it means is that the uncertainty. It's just a lot of uncertainty. But let me just go straight to what the story is. So there is a story coming out of the CBC, Canada's Broadcasting Corporation here. And the title here, Liberals say no changes coming for leadership race despite the risk of foreign interference. And this story just came out just today, January 7th. So I'm going to go into a bit of that, all right? Now, there is an aspect of the story that really caught my attention. And in order for you to really understand it, probably let me just start. The Liberal Party of Canada will be the first federal party to hold a leadership contest since the Hague Commission on Foreign Interference revealed meddling by foreign governments in previous races. And there is every reason to expect governments that have sought to meddle in the past will continue to try to influence outcomes. Now, the second paragraph reads, the Liberal Party told CBC News on Monday that it doesn't intend to change or reinterpret rules in its 2016 constitution that Elections Canada has suggested could make the vote be at least as vulnerable to such effort as previous leadership races. That includes, so there's a part that I want you to pay attention to. That includes allowing international students to vote at a time when the number of people in the country who are neither citizens nor permanent residents has continued to grow, despite sharp cuts in the approval rates of new student visas. Statistics Canada says there are now more than 3 million non-permanent residents living in Canada. That is temporary residents, all right? And then it goes on and on and on, all right? Let me read the other paragraphs here as well. None of the parties currently require, the parties here in Canada, political parties in Canada, okay? So none of the parties currently require full citizenship to vote in internal party elections. Although the Conservatives, the New Democrats, and the Greens require permanent residency. A former status that is usually a step on the path to citizenship. The Liberals and the Bloc Québécois do not. All right, so let me unpack it in my own way. Remember, this is not whatever I say here, which is not something I'm reading, will be my personal opinion, not an opinion of the government of Canada, not an opinion of any political party, and not an opinion of any federal institution here in Canada, just my opinion. When I read stuff that is not mine, I will let you know. I have also linked the very story here in the description box of this video. So check it out on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this video as well, please consider smashing that like button right now. And let me know where you're watching from. This is a live broadcast. So, wow, we have over 3 million temporary residents here in Canada. Numbers suggest that it could be almost 5 million actually. Majority of them are international students. We also have visitors visa holders here. We also have a lot of asylum seekers in the system, temporary foreign workers as well in the system. And the truth is that a lot of them are out of status. Some of them are just about getting or going off, being off status as well. So it's not a good time as well. If you are not yet a permanent resident in Canada, or if you are not a citizen, it's not a good time if you are just an immigrant, especially with hopes that you can transition. However, this very video and this particular article could be something you want to keep an eye on. This morning, I dropped a comment in the video I did yesterday. If you finished that video, just check it out. I dropped a comment and I pinned it in the comment section. I said, look, I've had so many predictions right. For the last 2 years, some of the things happening, I've predicted many of them, and some of them have been spot on. Those of you who have been around this channel for a long while. One of the things I said in the predictions I've given is that the group of people who are in Canada right now, the temporary residents who are in Canada right now, be it international students, be it visitors, or visitors are just visiting, right? So let's take them out. Foreign workers who are here working, who have their families here, who have their whole investments moved to Canada, who have invested their monies here and have been caught in this limbo of immigration uncertainty because of the chaos going on with the Liberal Party or the governing party and so many aspects of the economy and global factors as well. These people, these very people who have been caught in this moment, who are going through the depression, spent all their monies, cannot find jobs, cannot do, these people could prove very, very critical to the political party in power right now in the future. I said it. I said the people we are putting through the stress and the depressions right now could be coming back to hurt these very political parties here in Canada tomorrow. And simply, history has taught us that people who come in as international students, like myself, people who come in as foreign workers, like other people who may have come here through spousal or whatever, may not always remain in that status forever. At some point, they may transition to become permanent residents. At some point, they may transition to become even citizens. And they have an important role to play in this economy or politics. So the international student today could be the Canadian citizen tomorrow. The international student today could be a permanent resident tomorrow. So let's be very careful how we treat them today. Not all of them will end up leaving. That's a fact. Now, the government has clearly mentioned that, especially Canada's immigration has mentioned that it intends to see at least 1 million people voluntarily or deported, whatever way, leave Canada in the next 1 to 2 years. What happens to the other people? The 2 to 3 million people who are in the system right now and have nothing. Now, for you to really understand why this is a big deal, right? Currently, there is no law in Canada that allows non-Canadian citizens to vote in public elections. So if you are not a Canadian citizen, you cannot vote in a public election. At the federal level to elect, you can't. It's not possible. In other countries, like our neighbors here, you know, if you don't have an ID in some states, you can manage your way out. Huh? You know what I'm talking about. But for Canada, I can assure you, if you're an international student, you cannot vote to elect a member of parliament. You cannot vote to put a public officer in position by, it's not possible unless you are a Canadian citizen. That's the first thing I want you to get, so that you don't get the impression that Chokwa is saying, oh, international students will be allowed to vote and elect what. We don't even elect our prime minister. We vote for individual political party members of parliament, and then out of that we're able to determine which political party has the numbers to form the government and then therefore have their prime minister. All right, but here is the thing I want you to pay attention to. All the political parties here, right, none of them have a key requirement that you ought to be a citizen in order to play a role in selecting or deciding who runs their political party or electing their individual party members. So let me just take it a little bit out of Canada for you to understand. I'm originally from a country called Ghana. The party in Ghana, the political parties we have in Ghana, we have the National Democratic Congress, which just won election, have been sworn into office today. Congratulations to John Mahama and the team there. And then we also have the opposition, New Patriotic Party in Ghana. Only Ghanaians can vote to elect members of parliament and the president of Ghana. Only Ghanaians can do that. Non-Ghanaians cannot do that. Even if you hold a Ghana card, you cannot do that. You have to be a Ghanaian citizen. However, what is happening here in Canada is that aside from citizens voting to elect public officers, to political officers, when it comes to party level election, party level, those are not the national one, party level, in terms of flag bearer, in terms of who should be allowed to, in Canada here, the parties here don't have a law that says only citizens can vote at the party level. So therefore, historically, almost all the political parties have expanded party registration or membership to what they call grassroots, to allow non-citizens who are residents here in Canada and can produce one of two forms of identification to vote. That brings me to that interesting group I'm about to talk about, international students. Do you know that the Liberal Party, which is the party in power today, prides itself, beats its chest by saying that it is one of the most it is one of the most popular political parties here in Canada when it comes to reaching the grassroots, people who normally will not be part of their political system or process. They pride themselves in saying that they have the largest, non-citizens. You know what I'm talking about, right? In fact, just recently, there was a serious commission of inquiry about foreign interference in Canada's election. And then the report suggests that foreign countries or other countries such as China may have played a role in influencing the leadership, the selection of people here in Canada in our election. This goes back as far as 2014, when a Liberal Party candidate was alleged to have bused Chinese students, international students, Chinese students, to Don Valley. I think his name is Horn. The candidate, the Liberal candidate is called Horn, 2014 thereabout. That bussed a group of international students, lots of them, Chinese students, to Don Valley in the Toronto area just to go and vote for him so that he can, So therefore, if international students can become very critical in allowing you to become a member of parliament or to be elected at the party level, do you see how that is a big factor when it comes to actually you going forward to now go and contest in the election? I don't know whether somebody is understanding what I'm speaking a lot of grammar, but I hope you are catching what I'm trying to say. I am trying to say that if you are telling me right now that, let me go back to Ghana a bit. For those who don't understand Ghanaian politics, that's the least I can use to just explain for you to understand. John Dumelo, who is now a member of parliament for Ayawaso West, Wogon, Legon area there, where we have the biggest universities in Ghana, like University of Ghana, IPS, and what have you. You know what I mean? That area there. University of Ghana, over 30,000 students. So if you are telling me that when it comes to Ghana election, only Ghanaian citizens can vote, non-Ghanaian citizens cannot vote. But at the party level, when it comes to us kind of running our delegates and allowing people to vote and stuff like that, we are expanding it to allow non-citizens to vote, including permanent residents, including people who can just produce one or two IDs. Then what it means is that Nigerian international students who are in Ghana, schooling at University of Ghana, who are not Ghanaian citizens, can vote to elect John Dumelo. At John Dumelo's NDC party's level of election. A Gabonese in Ghana, schooling at University of Ghana, will be able to also vote to elect John Dumelo to go and stand as a member of parliament. That is basically the situation here in Canada. All the political parties here, aside from the Conservative Party and what? I believe the NDP, which require that at least you should also have maybe permanent residency status or so. They expand it to include PRs and stuff. Almost all the political parties don't have a requirement saying only citizens can. And there is a reason why they do that. Because international students or newcomers form an integral part of the future voting bloc of these political parties, especially the ruling government, Liberal Party. The Liberal Party prides itself as pro-immigration. We love immigrants. We love bringing in more people. You see, you can see the record. Just look at the record, right? You can see the numbers. Go look at the chart. You'll notice that since Justin Trudeau came, Canada's immigration has gone like this. Woo! It was all the way here. Then, woo! This. Okay, let me give you another version. Look at the United States. Between the Republicans and the Democrats, which party loves immigrants or immigration? Democrats. When I say they love, it means which people are more likely to bring in more immigrants? Democrats. Why? Democrats tend to also rely so much on immigrant votes. Are you catching it? You can run the same stuff. All right. So wait a minute. This is the irony here. So the government in power, which comes from the political party called the Liberal Party, whose prime minister just announced resignation, is about to leave the party without a leader. So therefore, they are about to go through a process to, for the first time, after the Commission of Inquiry on Foreign Interference, to be the first party to now elect a candidate through their whatever process. And they are considering international students voting. Let me read that part again for you to hear. Let me read that part, okay? Look at it yourself. That includes allowing international students to vote at a time when the number of people in the country who are neither citizens nor PRs has continued to grow. The international students could be kingmakers. You know, so they say they want international students out, though. You know, so they don't want enough. No problem. Those who are here, no postgraduate work permit. In fact, as we are speaking right now, some of you are still checking your express entry draws to see whether you have received an invitation. Nothing is happening. Express entry, you know, so no action. Today alone, I've just gotten at least 5 messages from different people telling me that they have lost the points they had as graduates or international students who schooled here in Canada in the express entry pool. A whole lot of uncertainty right now. So therefore, will it make sense from now to March or from now to April or spring to now say that you want these same international students to be attracted to your political party, even though they are not yet citizens or PR, to participate in the process somehow so that they can help you have a very robust system of electing? Will it make sense? All right, let's see how that goes. Number 2, these same people, in the next 2-3 years, if they become citizens or so, you trust in that they will come and vote for you? I said this thing could come back and hurt. You know, be so? Or, let's look at it on the bright side. Could it also mean that the vacancy or the chaos caused by the resignation of the prime minister, which is going to lead to an election within his political party to elect a party leader and subsequently prime minister at some point, could it also open up conversations around what to do with the international students who are in the system, have run out of status, or foreign workers who are in the system and have run out of status? Could they be considering some kind of amnesty or some kind of program which will allow these people to restore their status so they are able to stay, so that everybody is able to smile? International students are now happy because they have now been given new opportunities to stay, hoping that tomorrow these people will become loyal people to the party and vote for them. The truth is that most immigrants tend to vote for the Liberals, whichever way you look at it. Look at it from US, Most immigrants just tend to vote for the Liberals. But we are times where immigrants are also beginning to wake up. They are understanding that most of these immigration decisions are done with political agenda. That's it. They're bringing in immigrants because they're hoping to cash in big at some point. Maybe the time to cash in could be in the next few months. Nobody knows. Let's see how that runs. But the international student group could actually constitute a key piece of the next few months Canada's election process. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Keep me posted and let me know. This is a live broadcast, so keep your comments coming. Let me know what you think. I hope I made this a little bit clear. I've left the link of the article here for you to read. So take a look at it and let me know what it is. As of now, all the political parties here rely so much on international students to deepen their democratic process or political process. And this time when international students are bleeding, and literally, when I say bleeding, in different ways in Canada, wow, this could be the time that they are needed the most. All right, what do you think about this? Drop your comments and let me know. Read about it and let me know, okay? International student today could be the key factor tomorrow for some of these political parties, especially the Liberal Party. The way they are treating them today, they should just know that some of these people will come back. All right. All right. So, good. Let me see. Yeah. If anybody has a question or contribution, please bring it on. Okay. Firebird. Are students in Canada legally or I think you have a contribution there. Let me see. Are students in Canada legally or illegal? That is a question. Mass migration is coming to. So there are two groups of students here. There are those who are out of status. Out of status means their documents have expired. Their postgraduate work permit may have expired or is about to expire. They've been in the pool. When we say pool, we're talking about the express entry pool, which allows people to, just one of the programs you can use to get your permanent residency status here. And some of them are waiting. There have been no draws in a while. People are waiting, even if there have been draws, not as consistent as it should be. So a lot of people, and every single day, you are literally running out of your immigration status, especially with nothing happening, right? And nothing is happening because the government is reducing almost everything, right? Everything has been reduced now. Immigration levels gone down. In fact, the government is hoping that 1 million or so people will voluntarily self-deport or leave Canada in the next 1 to 2 years, just because they are not guaranteeing anybody of a transition from student status to whatever status you want, whether PR or whatever status, right? That is a reality. So those who don't have any immigration status or they expire now, they are the ones who are more worried. Now, the second group of people who are more worried as international students are those who are just about starting their program or those who are already in their program. Some of them just honestly don't know what next to do, because if they look at what is happening now, the uncertainty is all over, right? Especially with the likelihood that another political party, the Conservative, will also take over in the next few months. They could be the ones forming government, right? So these uncertainties here are the things that are actually making things here a little bit more tough for the international student, all right? Okay. Good. Okay. Now, my take, if the international students should pay tax, then they should be allowed to vote. It depends. This is from Chinedu Joe. It depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about they should be allowed to vote at non-federal public elections, like party level elections, or you're talking about federal level? The laws here in Canada does not allow non-citizens to vote at federal level to elect public officials. It's not possible. However, at the party level, you could participate in some activities there. That's basically what this video is talking about. So I don't think anybody who is not a citizen should be allowed to vote here in Canada to elect leaders here in Canada, not even in my own home country, Ghana. If you're not a Ghanaian citizen, you should have no business electing a member of parliament or the president of our country. It doesn't make sense, right? It undermines our sovereignty. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the link is in the description box. I've already added that, okay? Somebody's asking, what's the future of asylum seekers? Very bleak. bleak. One aspect of our asylum process has already been touched, which is a private sponsorship for asylum seekers has already been paused. It doesn't mean they will not bring it back. They just said they're pausing that. You understand? It's been paused. The other form of asylum is still there. You have to read more to know what's going on. But that is an area that is seriously, they are considering different ways that they can actually, I just can't talk much about that. Changes are just happening. You just have to be updated. Just read more too. Okay? Yeah. All right. All right. Bra Bismarck. I think in the upcoming months, the system will be eased for immigrants to get their PR. We can't wait. Wow. Let's see how that happens. Remember, the reason why the Liberals governing party decided to reduce all these numbers is one, politically, to help them get their numbers up, because they are so low in the polls, so low, at least by 20 points. They are below. They are down by at least 20 points. So they're hoping that all these moves they are making will make Canadians happy. You know what I mean? That's the first reason. So for them to all of a sudden undo everything again in the next few months, that would be like a walking contradiction. You know what I mean? I just don't know what will happen. Let's see how things play out, okay? Kwesi Boateng, international students were the easy targets by Liberals for the mess they created to please the citizens. Most of the international students have gone through situations and would never forgive them. Okay, that is from Kwesi Boateng. Yeah. Opia Mensa. So at this point, is it worth schooling in Canada? It's always worth schooling in Canada, especially if you are coming the proper way, proper preparation, financial preparation, everything. It's probably the worst time to be coming to Canada if you are not financially equipped. If you are not financially equipped and then you've been told by agents that you can come to Canada, work, and use the salary you get to pay your school fees, not possible. It's not possible. All the loopholes that will allow you, right now, they've closed all of them. Those days where international students could, I'm not saying legally, behind the scene, come in, they are not going to school, one semester, they're out of school, blah, blah, blah. Then they are doing blah, blah, blah. Right now, they've started, then later on, they go and work, they won't go to the school, and then they will change the school and go to another school, blah, blah, blah. Those things, right now, they've closed all the loopholes. Do you know how many international students have been refused visa because they came and they didn't go to the school, and now they are trying to change the school to another school because they were working under the table or doing stuff, using the money, saving the money, hoping to use it to pay the other school's school fees. I'm speaking fast, but I hope you are getting it. I'm trying to tell you that they've closed all the loopholes. So those days where you come in and say, oh, Charlie, I can't hustle, use the money pay fee, they. Right now, the job, it dry. International students, where they plenty could tell you, say, they already get work do. They already get job do. That's a fact. Majority could tell you, say, Charlie, they can't find work. See what I mean? Because there plenty, asylum seekers where they here, plenty no they find job. That's a fact. Plenty asylum seekers in hotels in Niagara Falls, in Quebec, in other parts of Canada, majority of them cannot find job. They have work permit. They call it brown paper. They have brown paper, no job. That's the reality. Talk to your friends. They will tell you the truth. Why? Because, Charlie, plenty has gone on in the last few months in Canada. A lot has gone on. That be why they cool the system. They say, right now, they don't want to issue the visa. Why? Because, Charlie, they don't want to cool the system. The system make overheated. See, the system is overheated. They don't want bring the temperature down. You see what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, in Jedeka Berechiku, I feel there should be a form of assurance to international students if they have suddenly realized they need their votes. Assurance, that's a strong word to use, though. The reality is that nobody needs to assure you of coming to Canada of anything, because getting the visa to come and study is not an assurance that something will happen for you in Canada. That's the reality. That's actually the truth. Politically incorrect statement, I should say. That's a reality. So if you come in and things don't work the way you intended, it's just a system, right? You just have to make sure that you are making the right decisions, picking the right courses, the right school, the right preparation. Majority are coming in without money, hoping that they can just rely on the system here to cushion them up. These are some of the things that actually worsen things, all right? Yeah. Okay. Chinedujo, Canada needs to face its immigration policy because schools are feeling the bite. Also, Trudeau embezzled funds. His government made a lot of money from the international students and couldn't create jobs or even build houses. It made a mess. And the system now, and international students should pay for it. All right, so that's a contribution from Chinedujo there. As we speak right now, a lot of schools have fired professors, fired faculty members, closed down departments because don't have the numbers of international students coming in anymore. Their monies have gone down, right? In fact, there are some of the colleges here that have their workers actually going on strike already, planning to go on strike. I was just reading before I went live. All right. So that is it. That is the update there. Okay. Let me take one more contribution from somebody in the audience here, and then I will be ending the video. Let me know what you think about this. Okay. Could this particular upcoming party leadership election within the ruling government's party, the Liberal Party, could it open up opportunities for international students, or it will cement their decision to lower the immigration level? If that's the case, if they decide to stick to what they are currently doing, how then will it impact them at the election, both at the party level and also at the national level, whether this year or the next few years? Let me know what you think in the comment section. All right. Chioma Ifeanyi, my question is not related. Choco, my question, good day, Choco. My question is not related to the topic, but I'll be glad to get an answer. I changed my major, same school, and my payment will expire a year before my current major end. Do I need to prove of funds if I'm applying for permit extension? Okay, let me just capture this again. So you change your major, but you're with the same school, and your permit will be expiring soon, a year before my current major. Do I need proof of funds if I'm applying for a permit? Yes, you definitely need proof of funds. I actually just mentioned yesterday, in the video I did yesterday, that some folks have been denied study permit extensions in Canada here. They're already in Canada. These are people who are in your same situation like you. These are people who are already in school, and they are just extending their study permit, which has expired or is about to expire, and they were denied. I just want you to also understand that they were not denied because they were just denied. They were denied because, according to them, the reason given is that they didn't have enough proof of funds. So probably they are taking more look at your proof of funds to see whether you really have adequate funds to continue your studies. Unlike in the past, where people may have gotten their study permits extensions approved with very little scrutiny of their proof of funds, right? There are people who got it with $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 bank statement, and they still got extensions approved. But now it looks like they're a little bit more and looking at that proof of funds. So you definitely will need a POF, all right? And I also recommend that you speak to the immigration advisors in your school. They are supposed to provide you with free immigration advice if you need one. Every school has one. Utilize that as much as possible, okay? All right, thank you. Vladimir Kojumos, this is very dicey for students. If students vote for the Liberals and they don't win, can it go a long way? Well, I don't know. Your question is, can it go a long way to hurt them in the future? I don't know. Now, the decision of international students to join any political party is solely yours to make. I just think that people will be making decisions based on how the immigration is, because it's like you telling me, when I don't have food to eat, that I should follow you to go out and go and do something. No, I'm not going to do that. If I'm hungry, I am following you. The international students right now, majority of them, they are hungry in terms of immigration hunger. They need food to eat in the immigration stomach. So if you don't sort them out and then you want to rely on them, yeah, there has to be some kind of trade-offs. You understand what I mean? That's what I think, yeah? All right, okay. All right, so that'll be all for now, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Hit the like button if you enjoy, and I'll come your way again another time with another update. Bless you. Take care. Bye.